not the case. The fam dad, first person to join. How interesting. We are back. Zero. No viewers. Nice one. What's going on? We are back with the lives. Bro, why do they join and just leave? I've just started the live. Relax. I don't understand why you do that. You join just to leave. Although I've just started the live. So there's no reason to leave. But anyways, how are we doing? I'm gonna be this is the last debate live I'm doing today. Might be live some other time. Alright, here we go. Here we go. What even is this? Natural spray? Interesting. We are the creator of our matrix. I have no clue what you're saying, sir. But anyways, how is food imaginary? Do you mean God? I don't think food's imaginary, my friend. You can actually see it and, physically feel it. How is God imaginary? No evidence of God existing, not for Islam, Christianity, Judaism, and any other God out there. So no reason to believe it exists. I like beef. Well, that means you also like the suffering and harm of animals that can eat and breathe and feel pain and joy and pleasure just like you. No justification for it. I might read the comments for a bit. Read the Quran and you'll find evidence. So that's called circular reasoning. The Quran has no evidence. You can't read the Quran to get evidence of the Quran. That is circular and that is simply false. You love beef? Well, then you love the killing of innocent animals. Yeah, I'd kill a chicken myself for them nuggies. You have no justification. They're made by God. God doesn't exist, so you've already failed there, my friend. I'm sorry, but there's no evidence. The Quran does not prove science wrong. I mean, wait, the Quran just hasn't proved science wrong. There's no evidence. It's false. It has contradictions. It's just a mess. It's even a mess with God in general. But, hey, let's add some people in.
Hello.
Hey, what you got?
Yeah, you're right. I'm just gonna ask. Your thing says God is imaginary, go vegan,
Right.
evolution is a fact. You're saying that the Quran contradicts itself and all of that, but the Quran, the Big Bang, the Quran theorized the Quran. The Quran theorized the Big Bang before science even did. So how do you explain that?
Sir, no, that is not the case.
But
I
that
don't
is the case though,
understand
because
why
it's in the Quran. It's
Sir,
like me.
I don't understand why you're taking a verse, a very vague verse, and then signing that because the Quran says something that it theorized the Big Bang. That's just not the case. That's just not the case. Sorry.
All right, but you're saying it theorizes it, but is the Big Bang not a theory?
Sir, a broken clock is right twice a day. You're simply wrong. I have nothing else to say to you. The Quran literally gets human biology wrong, as well as many other things. I'm sorry, but it's not correct. Hey, what you got?
It's about the go vegan thing. Why do you think veganism is good?
You want to harm animals when you don't need to?
Still though, like, veganism isn't really for everyone, and like, personally, I think that you're taking it out of context.
Sir, it should be for everyone because not being vegan involves gassing, killing, and torturing billions of animals that are very intelligent and that can feel pain like you, want to live like you, and amongst many other things, and you're killing them for no reason when you don't need to. Now, if you're in a survival situation where you had to, fine, it's justified. But if you don't need to cause these animals harm, there's no more reason to do so.
either way, like I couldn't really give a shit. I'ma still eat my chicken, my nuggets, my
Human beings will
type
eat.
shit. Like I don't care if they get gas. I'll be real.
Would you eat a
Like
baby?
I don't really care.
Sir, would you eat babies, eat human beings? Would you do that? Would you care then? Yes or no? I don't need you to go on a whole ramble, but I need you to.
Yeah, bro, I would.
You, human beings?
On my mom's, I would do it. I would do it.
You said you would eat
Yeah,
human
bro.
beings. Okay.
Yeah, I would. I would.
Well, I don't know what else to say to you. If you're going on the justification that you can eat human beings, then you're a lost cause. I don't know what else to say to you at that point. That's quite disturbing. I'd encourage you to.
How you doing, mate?
Where would you go?
So quick one. You said that obviously animals feel pain and that, but what about plants? They feel pain.
My friend, plants do not feel pain. They don't have a nervous system required to feel pain, so that is not true.
And as well, I got told that if you rip a head off a chicken fast enough, it doesn't feel pain. So I've done that
If
before.
I ripped your head off quick enough, would that be okay because you don't feel any pain?
I mean, can I rip your head off then?
I mean, I hope you wouldn't want to do that to another human being.
Yeah, but what happens if it was sexual?
I just need you to engage properly and engage in good faith. That's like, come on now, sir. That's not helpful.
Nigger,
Hey, what you got?
nigger, 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 nigger.
Kindest Christian, kindest God believer, the most kind God believer I've seen. Hey, what you got?
Why should I be vegan?
Pardon?
Why should I be vegan?
You said why you should be a vegan?
Yes.
Because do you want to harm animals when you don't need to?
Why should I care?
Would you harm another human being?
Why should I care? If eating animals make me happy, why should I care?
So if I eat human beings and it makes me happy, why should I care?
Yes.
You think it's okay to eat people?
As an atheist, why you care? It is equal as eating plant. It is the same thing.
It's that causing pain is not kind.
Huh?
That causing pain is
I
not
know
right,
that.
sir. When you don't need to.
You
What's your
don't
point?
need to be. My point is, as an atheist, eating plants and eating meat, it is the same thing.
That's not the case. When you eat meat, an animal has to suffer and die for you to
No.
eat that meat.
What is the? Sorry for my English. I'm French. So, what is the logical? How to say that? Sorry. What is the difference in the logical perspective?
You want to hurt animals for no reason?
Why should I care? As an atheist, why should you care about animals?
Care about the
What is the
suffering.
difference?
What about the suffering of people?
Even for the people, why should you care?
Okay, well, I guess because I have a moral conscience. There's nothing else I can say to you. If you don't care about the suffering of people, then I don't know where your morality stands. I guess then you just don't care then. There's no helping you. It's quite unfortunate. Hey,
Remember me, nigger?
let's see some comments. All right. Insects die when you grow crops, and even more die because 70% of crops are grown to feed animals. The argument does not work. Any other points, fallacious points that you want to make? I'm sorry, but your religions are false. Everything, it's all false. I'm sorry. What? Like, it's just not the case. Meat tastes nice. It's not a justification. If people taste nice, would you eat them? I don't think so. So it's not justified. Religion is false because there's no evidence for God, and religion is based on God. If it's a philosophy and there's no God to it, then fine. That's okay. But if there's a God involved, then if you're going to make the claim that we should follow that God and that God is real, then you need evidence for that. If I make the claim that dinosaurs exist and I have no evidence, then I'm sorry, but it is imaginary in your brain, no evidence, no reason to believe it, and it's false. But is it directly hurting you if someone believes in God? It actually is, because the belief in God means you have morality from that God. And so that means that your morality can affect other people, because you're signing that certain things are bad when they actually aren't. Slavery was justified through Christianity and through religion. So you see, it can actually harm people. You're going to vote for certain rules and regulations based on your religion because that's where your moral conscience is from. And those laws affect me if I'm living in the same country as you, or if I travel somewhere. And so, yes, it does directly affect me. That's the case. There's no proof. And again, people saying religious texts to prove it, that does not work. You cannot use religious texts to prove a religious text. That's circular reasoning. It's plain circular reasoning. I'm sorry. I don't know what else you want me to say. Prove the absence of a creator. I mean, depending on what creator you believe in, there's internal inconsistencies. And regardless, I don't need to prove it doesn't exist. If you're making the claim God does exist, you're the one who needs to prove to me that that is the case. And as it stands, there's zero evidence whatsoever. I'm going to try and add some new people because I've seen people that have already been here and I want to get some new people in here today. Your mother and father created you? Biologically, yes. We don't have to prove anything to you. You're making the claim. If I make the claim that the world was made by a flying donkey, then I need evidence for that. If there's no evidence, then I'm just capping. And that's what religious people are doing now, capping, because there is no evidence and there's no reason to believe something without evidence. If I say you owe me £1 million and you're like, okay, where's the evidence that I owe you £1 million? And I'm like, you just have to believe. I don't need to prove it. Yes, you do, my friend. Yes, you do. If you make a claim in the court of law, if you make a claim that someone hurt you, you have to provide evidence for that claim. They don't just get sent straight to jail or prison. You need to provide evidence that they hurt you. Simple, basic evidence. It's not complicated. You obey a false god. I don't obey any god because no god exists to obey. When did you become vegan? Approximately 2 years ago. I'm a vegan. I don't know why you guys are so upset. It's actually sad. Poor comparison, improve your vocabulary. It's not a poor comparison, sir. You're simply wrong. Explain how the Big Bang came about. Condensed matter. There was probably quantum fluctuations before, but regardless, the Big Bang argument does not prove God. Even if I knew nothing about the Big Bang, that does not automatically mean God exists. Allah is better. Allah doesn't exist. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to break your bubble, to burst your bubble, but that's simply not the case. What do you think of wolves eating animals alive? We're not animal. We're animals, but we're not wolves, okay? We're not in the wild, okay? We have morality. We have an advanced morality that we can use to do good things, okay? God is better. God is non-existent. You're talking about a non-existent entity, my friend. You have no argument. Prove it. Prove to me. Regardless, I don't need to prove to you there is no God. You need to prove to me that is the case. If someone comes up with a scientific theory, they need to prove that that is the case rather than me disprove you. It's up for you to prove me. Why do you want to go vegan? Because I don't want to hurt animals for zero reason. Zero reason. I don't want to hurt animals. Simple as that. What do you think happens after death? Same thing as before you were born. Non-existence. Not that anyone can understand it, because if you don't have a brain to understand stuff, simply don't exist. Currently eating a steak, I do hope you realize that an animal had to go through suffering for that. Gonna die anyway, that's not a justification. If people are gonna die anyways, we don't automatically make murder legal just because people are gonna die. It's not a fair point. How do you think the world was created? I don't need to know. And how do you know it was created? It could have always been here. I don't need to know it was created. And that doesn't help your argument with God. You guys have no evidence, no points, nothing at all.
Yo,
Hey, what you got?
Yeah, so a couple of things. So firstly, the thing about the evidence of God or something. Look, I don't know whether you take some like weird, like idiosyncratic view where like if you don't have
So you
evidence
haven't
for like
gathered. I don't.
yeah, no,
What?
I just want to talk about this quickly. Like I don't know whether you take some weird view where like if you don't have evidence for some given proposition, then that's somehow proof of the negation of the proposition. Like that's really
Sir,
strange. Like, yeah.
regardless, if you're gonna make the claim God exists, or if you're gonna make a claim about the state of reality, you need to prove it with observable, testable evidence. If not, then it's just false. If I make any claim that you owe me £1 million, or that a flying spaghetti monster made the universe, if people are to say that's correct, then I need to show evidence for that, or else why on earth would you
Sorry,
believe?
sorry, but you understand that you're in the same boat there, like on the negation of the proposition. When you say God doesn't exist, you need evidence for that claim too, right? You
Sir,
understand that?
even if that is the case,
Yep.
you still need your burden of proof is on you to say that God does to provide
Oh,
evidence that God does exist.
the
Me,
evidence is on
I
whoever's
understand
affirming a
the
proposition.
absence
Yeah.
of evidence is not the evidence of absence.
Yep.
Fine, but that
Cool.
does not mean God exists.
No,
I,
no, I, no, I agree. I agree with you. I just want to be clear because there's like really confused
yeah,
atheists
I
that just go
understand what
around like making
I
claims and
understand
don't
what
have evidence. Yeah.
yeah, I
Um.
understand what you mean.
Yeah, and then on the vegan topic, really quickly.
Yeah.
Do you take it to be the case that if you feel pain, then you have moral value? Is that the position?
Sentience, pain, absolutely have moral value.
Yeah. No. So do you take those to be like a sufficient condition or like a necessary one? Like, um,
Absolutely, yeah.
no, no. Sorry, a necessary or sufficient, or are they both? Like, is it just necessary? Like, if is that the if you have sentience or you have the ability to feel pain, is that what makes you morally valuable? And if you lose it, you're not morally valuable.
Um, I wouldn't say that's always particularly the case. I'd say if you have the capacity, then I would say yes, you do have more value. If you have the capacity to feel those things, yeah.
Okay, yeah, cool. Wait. So, what do you take about like there's like this medical condition in which that you can't feel pain, like um, it's some weird like issue with like the brain and the connectivity between like the prefrontal and like
Yep.
something. I don't really know too much about it. I just know that they can't feel pain in the like in the
Okay.
normal sense or something. But how do you respond to those cases?
Yeah, I understand your point. But I mean, hey, if someone was in the vegetative state who couldn't feel pain, had no conscience, had nothing, then I don't believe they have the same moral value as someone who does, because it's the same. I know this is a separate topic with an abortion argument. Personhood begins at conscience. That's why we allow abortions before 20 to 24 weeks, because that's when a person gains personhood through conscience. Before that, they really have no personhood or the capacity, and so that's why abortion would be okay and wouldn't be
Oh,
murder.
what do you mean by capacity? I think
As
that
in
might help. Yeah.
the capacity to have consciousness.
Yeah, what does capacity mean though? Like,
The you can have conscience. I don't know how to explain it simpler. You know what human consciousness is, or
yeah,
consciousness.
I know what human consciousness is. Yeah.
So the capacity, you basically have a personhood.
But I don't know what capacity means. Like, because
I don't
I've
know how
heard.
to explain it simpler to you, sir, but you're just able to be conscious and have consciousness. That's my main point.
Okay. Like, would you? Okay, I'm gonna like try and get a definition. So, like, let's say we have some coma patient. Um, but they have like a 50% chance of like dying, but they have like a 50% chance of like living. Do they have the capacity for like consciousness under that view?
Correct.
Okay. And then, sorry, in the fetus case, like at like 8 weeks, why doesn't the fetus have the capacity for consciousness?
Because they weren't conscious before. The person in the company was conscious before. They have the ability to have consciousness. That baby was not conscious before.
Well,
Because the situation is true as well.
presumably, you agree with the position that most fetuses, or like a majority of late-term fetuses or something, will have consciousness at some point, right? Like,
Yeah, but
presumably, you
they
agree
don't
with
have
that.
it at that point, which is why it's okay to abort them at that point. I don't believe
Well,
they have personhood, so I don't believe they have the same moral value as a fetus, which does have personhood, which is why I believe consciousness begins. If you don't believe personhood begins at consciousness, then I guess we just have to agree to disagree. But that's what I'm
Oh,
assigning moral value to.
no, sorry. I'm specifically because like now it's getting like really confused because we're having like conflations there. So I asked you like if people in comas or something have moral like agency or whatever, like they have moral value or something, and you said, well, actually, the position is that they have the capacity for consciousness or something, so that's why they have moral value. So then I gave you the case of the fetus, and I said, well, why doesn't the fetus have the capacity? Like, presumably, it has
That
the
person,
ability in the future to be
I'm
conscious.
assuming that person was conscious before they went into the coma.
Yeah, sure.
So that's what I mean by capacity.
Oh,
They have.
oh, okay. Well, I can give you like this case then. Like, let's say we have a baby and it's born into like a coma. Do you think that that baby has moral value? Like, it's born into a coma, it's gonna wake up in like 4 hours, but it's
Right, so
never had consciousness. Yeah.
consciousness begins at 20 to 24 weeks. It's when
Yeah,
it's gained.
there are like
That's
rare
when I believe
genetic.
personhood is gained.
There
So
are rare genetic diseases in which like you don't have like the baby's like in a coma, the comatose state throughout pregnancy.
they would have gained consciousness. They would
No,
have
no, no, they
gained
don't. They're in a comatose
from
state the whole
they
time.
develop. It develops at 20 to 28 weeks. Are you aware of that, sir?
Yeah, no, no. Well, I actually have studies that show it's like way earlier than that. But like, just to be like, for the
Yeah, I
sake of the
can
conversation,
do those
yeah.
studies because from what I've heard, I don't believe that's the case. But um, I mean, all
But
I'm
yeah,
saying is
but
that
just to be clear on this point, like, just like let's say that this case has never happened or anything. Just say under the hypothetical, that this case did happen. Like the baby was born, like had never had consciousness. It was born. It was outside of the womb. But you knew that in 8 hours it would have consciousness. But it's never had consciousness before. Do you think that baby has moral value? Yes or no?
I mean, I don't believe that could ever be the case. So
Well, uh,
it's difficult to answer that. But could you repeat that again, though?
yeah, yeah. Just take this, right? Let's say we have a baby, and throughout the whole stages of pregnancy, it never has consciousness. It's like in a comatose state, in the same way that like people in comas are in a comatose state. But then it's born, and in 8 hours, it will have like it will gain conscious experience. Does that baby have moral value under your view?
I mean, I know you disagree with my scientific fact that it's developed from 20 to 28 weeks, but if that baby is, outside of the womb, then I'd say it would have more value because that's when I believe after 20 28 weeks it has consciousness, and that is where it has personhood. And because it has consciousness, it has personhood, and that's what assigns it more value, which is why before 20 weeks I believe abortion is okay.
Oh yeah, yeah, but in the hypothetical, it's stipulated that during the 24 to 28 week period, it's in a coma, like the baby is in a comatose state.
But it would still have developed consciousness and personhood because
No,
that's what
how?
it develops. Because
Wait, no,
that
no, it's in a coma. Like it doesn't.
Yes, but
What do you
still,
think
I don't
consciousness
know
is?
how a baby is in a comatose. I don't
Yeah,
understand what you mean.
yeah. Like okay, so there's some babies that like the earliest born baby was at 21 weeks, right? That was like the earliest known medical record for a baby. Look, you can just say let's say that the baby has some like seizure or something before like the 24 to like 28 week period or something, and let's say the baby has like we have to perform an emergency c-section or something. Do you think under that view, because the baby hasn't reached the stages in which consciousness arises under your view, do you think that baby has moral value? Like
Sir, I mean, we can keep going around in circles, but I mean, I can only repeat the stuff that I've already said. But I feel like, I mean, I can't, I'll debate you on like an abortion or like that type of debate another time, but I know there's a lot of people waiting. But I mean, do you want to debate any of the other topics?
yeah, I was going to relate it back to
It's just
abortion.
that,
Like I was going to relate it back really quickly. Like so, look, it's clear to me, like in the abortion case, the capacity is like being defined really weirdly because under your view, I think even a baby, like it's a dichotomy. Like either the baby in the case of pregnancy has the capacity for consciousness, and is morally valuable, or the case in which the baby's born into a coma does not have moral value, and that's going to be like really weird
what's
to
the
say on your view.
let me ask you, what's the morally relevant difference between a human and an animal? That makes it, do you think it's okay to kill and eat humans?
Oh, are you giving me the name the trait question?
But do you think it's okay to kill and eat humans?
I think it's okay to kill and eat humans. Probably not, no.
Okay, so what's the morally relevant difference that makes it okay to do that? Not okay to do it to humans, but okay to do it to animals.
Yeah, I don't think it's morally correct to kill animals either. Yeah, I'm a
And
vegan.
eat them. You don't think it's morally correct to kill and eat animals?
Yeah, like I don't think it's morally correct to kill and factory
Hey,
farm
man,
animals.
join the side of veganism then.
I am a vegan, yeah, but I just
Oh, okay.
I just disagree with like your specific vegan view because look,
Okay.
yeah, I take the past future conjunct. So when you have like the past sentient experience or something, and then you have the conjunction of having the future sentient experience, that's when you have moral value. But like I was just giving you like the basic reductio of like people who are comas, like sorry, people who have never gained consciousness or something, they would still be morally valuable. Which is why we shouldn't say it's like a necessary condition.
Okay.
Uh,
I mean, I guess
yeah.
that's a separate argument that I could even touch upon, but I understand your point. So what was your like de facto like quick premise argument of why you're vegan? Just quickly again.
Oh, yeah, I can. I'll send you a paper off the live. It would like get
Yeah,
a
I
little bit
followed you,
confusing.
so just DM it
Yeah.
to me and
Okay.
all right.
Okay. See you later.
Any disagreeers? Let's get some of y'all in here. Real. All right. Regardless, you guys have no point. Thoughts on religions? I don't know of any religions that promote veganism. Fortunately, religion is also just as bad. Okay. All right, let me read some chat for a bit. Godless and vegan, you are correct. Don't believe in makeshift religions. Do not believe in a God that doesn't exist. Because I can't believe in something that you can't believe in God because he doesn't exist. Cows are clearly designed to be prey. No, sir. They're not designed to be prey. That's like saying people are designed to be enslaved. No, sir. You've assigned that to them. They're not born with that purpose, sir. You've subjectively assigned it to them, which is not moral. You could do that with any animal. And it's not okay. How did everything get created? Why are you assuming that everything had to be created? Don't believe in the Big Bang? I absolutely do. I love chicken. Well, keep killing animals, believing in imaginary things. I don't understand why you believe in an imaginary God that doesn't exist. It's quite sad, to be honest. It's actually quite sad. I think like it's genuinely an unfortunate widespread delusion. But hey, it's easy to fool someone. It's hard to convince them they've been fooled. Hey, that is a fact. Convincing you guys is very difficult because you guys are very stuck in this mindset and you need to think. But imagine if since the beginning, I didn't get to read that comment. Do you believe technology can override science? Why do vegans kill bees and insects to get the avocados and almonds? My friend, you kill more trying to feed animals than vegans. We have to eat. We will have to eat. I'm not saying that zero animals will be killed, but all I'm saying is less will be through veganism. Far less, because 90 billion animals a year less. And also, we need to grow crops to feed the animals. So I hope you're understanding. If humans never killed, there would be no vegans. I don't understand what you... no, sir. You're clearly lost. You're clearly lost. That's not the case. There would absolutely be vegans. You're just, as a matter of fact, simply wrong. I'm sorry, you're wrong. Your argument is trash. My argument is perfectly sound and valid. Perfectly sound and valid. God and devil are the same person. They don't exist. They are the same in the fact that they do not exist, and they are simply imaginary, made-up characters by people, schizophrenic people, thousands of years ago, who are delusional, who believe things that are simply not the case, like people can rise from the dead, walk on water, split the moon, I think in the Quran it says, which is false. That's actually crazy how people believe that. That is false. We need too much agricultural land for plants. 70% of crops are grown for animals. And if you know how simple biology works in trophic levels, you realize that a lot more mass of plants is needed for a lot less mass of beef. That's a simple way of how trophic levels work. So we need to grow a lot more animals to feed, a lot more plants to feed the animals than if we just grown it for us. Okay, we got primary producers primary consumers, secondary consumers, tertiary consumers, and so on. It's simple biology. We need way more for that. You kill more animals being vegan, that's simply wrong. What do you think happens after we die? My friend, I don't know. I cannot say for sure. But however, I'd assume, based on how death works and not being alive, is that it's like how it was before you were born. Non-existence, nothing. Like, I'm sorry, but simply the case. Simply the case. It's no issue. It's a valid argument. Simple as that. All right, let's get some people in here. Brother, you need to be more open-minded. I'm open-minded, trust me. You guys are the one that's open-minded.
Yes, brother. How are you?
Hey, what you got?
Alright, is there something I can call you?
My
Can
friend,
you?
I don't think this conversation requires you calling me anything.
No,
What I
just so I
think it
can
does is
address
if
you
you
in
want
some
to
way.
argue
I
any of
don't want
these
to be
topics,
disrespectful towards you. I just want to address you in a way.
call me Rishi Sunak.
No worries. Okay, Michael Jordan. Have you ever had a chicken burger with cheese on that's
Yes,
spreaded with
I was
mayo?
more deluded and didn't care about the suffering of innocent beings. I did indeed.
Okay. You know how you made a point also? You said we kill bees and certain stuff, but that's just less animals. That was the most stupid thing I've heard, because if you're vegan, your whole point is you don't want to hurt animals as an overall, correct?
Sir, I'll be honest with you. We need to eat. That is a fact. I'm not saying that you
Okay,
should starve to death and not eat anything. However, I
definitely.
am saying that you do and can minimize the suffering and pain of these animals.
Okay,
70%
now,
of crops are grown for animals to eat. So the best way to avoid this pain is by not eating animals.
okay, now can I ask you this? So there's a group
Yes.
of people, yeah? Okay? Now, 3 of them out of 10 are bad people. They're going to cause damage in the world, okay? Now, let me, listen, don't laugh. The same way I didn't laugh at you. Let me explain, okay? But we don't know who's bad, so I'm going to say, you know what? We'll kill all 10 people just in case. Is that right?
Sir, I don't
Is
understand
that
how
right?
this helps your
No,
point.
you contradicted yourself. You can't tell me that you
How did I contradict myself?
tell me that you kill certain animals just to hurt less animals. It don't make sense.
More animals are killed. I'm minimizing suffering. I'm killing less animals. 90 billion animals die a year for your
Okay, so what
KFC
you're
and
telling me is
McDonald's.
certain animals matter less than certain animals.
Sir,
That,
way
that's
more
what you're telling
animals,
me.
way more animals die for your eating meat.
You-
Way less die
Listen, your
vegan
point is
basis.
very weak. Your argument's very weak. That's what I'm
Sir,
trying to
you're
tell
just
you.
not understanding. That's not the case. You're just not understanding. 90
Nah,
billion die a
listen.
year
I
for your
understand, Clay.
meat.
Listen, I just think you're very lost. I just think you're
Why
just
do you want
very
to
lost in
cause
this.
animals unnecessary harm and suffering?
Okay. Listen, let's move on. Can I debate with you on the God is imaginary?
All right, sure.
Okay. Can I ask you how you think, like what your perspective is on the world, how it was made, how we're all here?
Sir, how's this proof for God? I'm still waiting for your evidence for God.
Me?
Yep, I'm still waiting for you to
No,
provide
I'm
the evidence.
asking. Listen, this is a debate. I'm asking you a question here. I just want you to answer it. It goes around your topic. How do you think we are here, like on this world?
I
Generally,
don't
I'm asking
know.
you.
I mean,
Okay.
it depends on what you mean by we are here. Do you mean as living beings? Do you mean by the universe? What do
How you
you
think
mean?
the universe was created? How we're all living and breathing, talking, doing everyday life?
Sir, first of all, why do you assume that it could have not always been here? How do you know it was created?
Okay, my friend, if I gave you a sandwich, right? Wouldn't you want to know where it comes from?
What'd you say?
Wouldn't you want to know where the sandwich comes from if I gave it you?
Sir, why?
No,
How is that relevant?
just answer the question. It's
Sir,
part
you're
of the
not
debate.
si-
If I
all right,
gave you, listen,
sir.
if I
You
gave you a
clearly
sandwich,
you're not making a point. If you're making everything has to have a creator, how do you know that, sir? No evidence, no nothing. You're just wasting my time. Your God is imaginary, and you need to go vegan. Simple as that.
Hello.
Hey, what'd you got?
I want to do like God is imaginary. Why?
There's no evidence.
There is much proof. Like, go
Where?
on the internet and you will see.
On the internet, sir? That's not evidence, sir. I'm still waiting for
There
your evidence.
is.
What?
Now,
Where on the
tell
internet?
me,
What scientific study?
how did the Big Bang theory start? Like how? It's a theory. Like how? How do you
So we
believe in
can
it if
observe
it's
redshift in the universe. I don't know if you know what that is, but a light appears red when an object is moving away from us because the wavelengths are stretched out because it's moving away. But when an object is coming closer to us, it appears blue because the light waves are squeezed because it's coming closer to us. And so we're observing redshift between galaxies. And so we know that the galaxies are moving away. And at some point, if you track it back, that they were all much closer together in a much smaller, denser, hotter ball of mass, and that mass must have exploded, hence the Big Bang. What came before, we're not 100% sure. We believe it might have been a singularity, but regardless, even if we don't know what came before, this still does not prove God. So I'm still waiting for your proof that God has existed.
if we die, like what will our soul do? Like what?
Sir, where's your proof that you have a soul? What even is a soul? Can you define it?
A soul is like the thing in you that's your personality.
Sir, I think that's called your brain. That's
My
what your
God.
brain is. Your personality is based on your brain and your brain structure, brain chemistry that you inherited from your parents through genes. Now, I'm not sure if you're old enough to be here, but you're not bringing any useful arguments, so hey. We still wait. We still wait. I don't need to provide evidence. You're the one making the
Nigga,
claim.
nigga, 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 shut the fuck up, nigga. God exists, you fucking nigga. Kill yourself. Kill yourself.
Kindest God believer. That is the kindest God believer out there. Hey, what you got?
So, give me a reason why you think God is imaginary.
No evidence of his existence. That's
Okay,
fine.
there's no evidence of his existence, but
Okay, so then why on
this
earth do you
Bible's
believe
for
in
a
him?
reason, though.
Pardon?
And in the Bible, it says that God will come back, and when God comes
My
back, you're
friend,
staying
I'm
down here
sorry,
and you're
but
going to hell. I'm
I'm
telling
sorry,
you.
my friend, but you can't use the Bible to prove the Bible. That's what we call circular reasoning, okay? You're saying God exists because of the Bible. And the Bible is right because God exists. It's just circular, sir. You need to provide evidence, scientific evidence that we can observe and test to prove it, or else you're believing a delusion, my friend. You're delusional. Friends are calling him. It's your bedtime, sir. Bedtime. Bedtime. You go.
So I'll prove to you why God exists.
Prove it.
But
I'm
before I
waiting.
do you believe God exists or not?
Well, if you can read the prompts up there, then you could say it says God is imaginary. So I think
Yep.
that will
So
tell you that my answer is no.
I've got a lead up question to that. So, I mean, what's your definition of God?
I mean, sir, I'm not the one who believes in God. I don't believe he exists. So if you believe in a God, what's your definition of God? And what is this God? It's not even well defined.
So let me get this straight. You believe in something that doesn't exist, but you don't
I
know
don't believe
what
in
that
anything.
thing is.
You're the one who believes in something and that you have no evidence for. So I'm the one who's saying that thing does not exist if it doesn't have evidence. That's how it works.
Right. Well, can you prove that God doesn't exist?
I'm not the one who's claiming he does, so I don't need to prove anything. You're the one who's making the claim. If I say the world was made by a spaghetti monster and provide no proof, why should anyone believe me? So that's why if you're making the claim, the burden of proof is on you to prove that God exists. Simple as that.
That's fine. So my definition of God is independent and self-sufficient. So
What is that?
everything, so that means that everything in existence depends on God, which
What does
I
God look like? Where can we observe it in the universe? What is God like? I don't see him. Can you describe what it is and how we can see it and prove it to be true and exist physically in the universe?
so yeah, if you just listen to me carefully.
I'm waiting for your
My
evidence, sir. You're not providing any. You're just rambling. Can you
No, so
please prove he
I'm
exists?
actually going to give my theory on this, but let me just get a few things straight. My definition of God is that he's self-sufficient and independent. So everything that exists
Sir,
besides
that's
him. So
not,
that's my
that doesn't
point.
make any sense whatsoever. God is, the definition of God is self-sufficient and independent.
That's
That
right.
you've not told me what God even is. That's semantics at this point. You're not making it sense.
You need to
Like,
just
what is
listen
your
to me
point?
carefully. So this is my point. So what I'm saying is God is self-sufficient and independent, meaning everything that exists, that you see that exists, let's start with that. Everything that you see that
Where is
exists.
your evidence of this? You know, so I'm going to ask you one more time because you're just rambling at this point. Where is your evidence that God is self-sufficient, independent? Show me that to be true. What does he look like? How can we test for him? What does he feel like? That is what I call evidence.
You
We
need
can
to
say
have
the sun
patience.
exists because we can use a telescope to look at it, but you've not shown me evidence that God exists.
You
So,
need to have patience.
where is your
I'm
evidence?
coming to the evidence.
Just
Before
hurry up and get to
before I
it, sir. I don't want to hear you ramble. You're not here to preach. I'm not going to let you come and preach your holy books on my live.
I'm not
Show me
preaching
evidence
nothing.
or go
You're just
away.
not listening to me. But okay, I'll give you my evidence then.
Thank you. I've been waiting.
So it's the theory of dependence. I'm not sure if you've heard it before, but
Sir, what God do you believe in?
I believe God is independent and
Sir,
self-sufficient.
do you follow a religion?
We're talking about God here, so I'm
Okay,
telling
but
you
I'm just asking,
why
do you
I
follow a
believe.
religion so I know what God you're talking about? Because there's different gods and it depends. And you're not defining, you're just saying independent of something. I can make a claim Spaghetti Monster's the God and he's independent of. Where is your evidence of this?
Yeah,
Please.
exactly. So I'm coming to the evidence.
Get to
So,
the evidence straight away. I don't want to hear you rambling about what you like. Hurry up, sir.
right, Adelph, whatever your name is, can you just give me a few moments to speak without interrupting, and then I can give you my point
Sir,
of
you're
view?
just rambling. I'm not going to let you preach on the live. If you want to go and preach, go to a religious place, but don't come and preach here. I just want to see evidence. If you don't have it, then you might as well leave. One
Right.
last
So
chance. What is your evidence?
okay, so my evidence is that everything that we see that exists, it all depends on something. So it all leads back to the creator who's independent. So for example, the mobile phone, actually let's go one deeper. So the internet exists only because the device exists. So without the device, there wouldn't be the internet. So without a human being, there would not be a device. So that means the device, it depends on the human being to come into existence. So the human being depends on the earth, and the earth depends on the sun, which we can agree. So we are dependent on the sun to exist. So because if the sun wasn't there in that position that the sun is, then there wouldn't be life. So it goes further back than that. Without
Sir, okay, I think I know where you're getting to, and it's just no point to it, and it's false, okay? First of all, you can say, oh, everything needs to have a start. First of all, you have no evidence for that. You don't know that everything needs to start. Second of all, matter is not created nor destroyed, okay? So that would even be more evidence that the universe was not created. It could have always been here. Third of all, you're here saying that we see a mobile phone be creator and everything needs a creator, which, again, you haven't proven. What created God? You know, and the thing is with mobile phones, we observe mobile phones being created. We can observe the process by where they're made. We didn't observe, no one was there to observe the universe being made, which we may not even have been made. So even if it was made, we don't know what made it. In that case, if everything needs a creator, who created God? I'm sorry, but you guys have 0 point. This is embarrassing. Is this the best you have? You guys might need to pray. You guys might need to pray. Like, this is genuinely sad. This is so sad. This is so sad. God, please, where's the evidence? Where's the evidence? Bring it. Embarrassing. If I make the claim that, bro, you're making the claim God exists. I mean, I have evidence as to why I believe he's imaginary. And yes, in a way, you know, no proof can be like no proof of its existence. If I make a claim Spaghetti Monster made everything and I have no proof of it, That is in itself proof that there is no spaghetti monster because we cannot test for it. So there's no reason to believe it exists. So I would say, in a way, the evidence of absence of evidence is the evidence of absence in a way.
Hello.
Hey, what'd you got?
I just want to say, so what is your opinion on like animals like in farms and that?
Terrible. It's torture.
Terrible. Okay.
A sentient being.
So what would you say if like everyone went to like arable farming? Do you know what that is?
Stop killing animals and just.
Well, arable farming is not killing animals, but you'd make more food for the animals. But then,
Sir,
basic
killing animals. That's the point. Do you have any objection to that, and why?
To killing animals, I mean, farming's life, innit? Like, there's no future if.
So you do realize these are sentient beings that are being killed?
No, I know that.
Do you not have any issue with that? What if it was humans?
Oh, no, I'm not saying I have an issue to it. I'm saying at the end of the day, like, it's life, it's money for farmers.
Okay, so if I sold people like in slavery for money, is that okay because it's money for me?
No,
if I killed people and ate them, how is it different? What's the morally relevant difference between?
Because animals are there for a matter. They have a purpose in life.
Sir, you've subjectively assigned that purpose. I could assign you a purpose that I meant to eat you. That doesn't make it okay.
I'd allow it.
You think it's okay to assign a purpose to eat people and then eat them?
Kinda.
Okay, well then, I have nothing else to say to you. You need to go and get some help, to be honest. If you think it's okay to morally assign things to people and kill them, that's not okay. God is non-existent. You guys should all be vegan. This is embarrassing. This is quite frankly embarrassing. I need help, my friend. If you're the one who's believing in delusions, I think you're the one that needs help, quite frankly. Add mods? I might. Bro, I was going to do it regardless of whether farmers existed or not. Listen, if you're in the case where you have to eat animals, then I'd understand. But if you're not, this is embarrassing. What does God have to do with vegans? Sir, those are two separate topics. Are you guys lost? Are you guys really that lost? You're even lost than I thought you were. First, you believe in delusions. Then you enjoy torturing animals. Then you don't believe evolution is a thing, which is a proven scientific fact that we can observe. And now, it's just embarrassing at this point. I'm literally reading the chat right now. This is horrendous. This is actually sad. This is genuinely so sad. You guys genuinely need... I don't know. Nobody enjoys torturing? Oh, I'm sorry. Paying for the torture. My bad. God isn't real, guys. You need to get over it, okay? Can we all at least agree that God just doesn't exist? Like, I don't know why that's so hard. Really should not be that hard. At least most don't enjoy torturing. Yes.
Hey, bro, you're not fucking vegan. You're fucking ISO speed. I know it. You're not vegan. Go eat some chicken, you fucking black ass.
Then go to the other account. Regardless, that was the kindest God believer. Is that what God asked you to do? Be unkind to people? Is that what God asked you to do? He said, go and be unkind to people. That is what he said. This is so embarrassing. This is what how God says to act. This is another reason why religion needs to be abolished. I'm so happy that's going on the downhill. That is amazing to me. Religion only exists. I mean, religion has some benefits. I mean, some things it says it's good, but others are just downright horrendous. Like, it's actually bad. This is embarrassing. You guys are just throwing ad hominems around. It's just ad hominem after ad hominem. This is embarrassing. You guys, God tells you to say these things. Is that the case? Like, that's sad. That's really unfortunate. This is really unfortunate. You've all been indoctrinated, and it's unfortunate that you've been indoctrinated. I'm sure you guys all agree with what Muhammad did. We all know that. We all know the age of the person he married. And let me tell you, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. Can someone tell me the age of, I believe her name was Aisha. How old was she? Please just tell me her age. I'm sure it wouldn't be that bad, you know? If you're Muslim in the Quran. I just want to know. Ooh, did I see 14? Yikes. And how old was he? Yeah, that's not looking good. All right. Let me do some more. This is genuinely embarrassing. You're just mad at God. God doesn't exist. Why would I be mad at an imaginary being? That would be even sad than believing in one. I mean, first you'd have to believe in one. I'm trying to get new people in here, so if you've been in here a lot, I might not add you immediately. Hey,
What's up, bro?
what do you want to debate?
Do you hear me? Do you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. I have a good question maybe for you, and I hope you can answer that because you go here against God and you go against like some animals that we cannot eat them, and yeah.
Sir, what
So
do you want to say?
you are from Africa. We know who Africa poor is because of the government. They stole all things from Africa, and you need to eat, my bro.
Sir, get some help, please. Like, what are you saying? Is this what God does to you? I'm not surprised. Oh, you guys are scared. I was hoping that God believers would be more brave than this. You guys are running away. Seems like you really are in denial.
Alright.
Hey, what you got?
So, if God is imaginary, yeah,
Yes.
how is your body made in such a specific way that it works so specifically good? Because do you think it's just by coincidence that we're made like this?
Oh my goodness. Yo. Wow. It's not like evolution exists and that our bodies adapt to an environment through mutations that make us more likely to survive in an environment.
Who did
And if
that?
that doesn't happen, we go extinct.
So who-
99% of species have gone extinct. I don't think God made them very well for their environment if they're extinct.
Siktir o git ya. Amına koydum orospu çocuğu.
Okay. Don't know what you just said, but please, God, get the demons away. I'm ignorant? No, I think you're the one who's ignorant, my friend. Believing in imaginary beings. That's some Santa
Right.
Claus fairy tale things. Hey, what you got?
Go vegan. Right.
Yep.
So basically, yeah. Why do you want us to go vegan? Right.
I don't want you to harm animals.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah, but
if
animals when
if
you
you
get
get one person to stop eating meat, then not all of them will stop eating meat.
So that's how change works. When the first person stopped owning slaves, of course there were many others who did, but eventually as society changes, we can then stop causing harm to people.
Oh right,
Same
but
way
I like
veganism
eating meat.
can stop that. Would you say?
I like eating meat.
Sir, but you do realize animals are being killed and harmed for you to eat that.
Yeah, but I don't care.
Would you do it to a person?
Probably.
Probably? Okay. Well, I'm sorry, my friend, but that's quite worrisome. We need to treat people with respect. We need to be kind, okay? Kind to people and animals. By the way, feel free to subscribe. It helps go a long way. Helps keep the lives going. If you want to subscribe, go ahead and subscribe. It really helps out. You get extra perks. You automatically get in the debates and you get extra perks as well. This is so sad. This is actually so unfortunate. Reporting that it's just sad. No evidence, no nothing. Another day, another victory for the OG. This is horrendous. You guys need to really fix up. Hey, what you got?
Okay, so are you an atheist?
If you can read what this says, then yes.
Okay, so as an atheist, you have an idea of God, and that therefore means that you know that he exists. So why would you say he doesn't exist?
No. What is God?
God is a higher power that made humans.
Well, where's your evidence of that?
There's multiple,
Show me. I'm waiting.
There's there's multiple like pieces of evidence. Some people say even the Big Bang is literally
And how
God's
is that the case?
creation.
And how is that the case?
That's what it says. That's what it says in Christian books.
Okay, well,
Bibles.
you can't use
If
Christian
you
books
look,
to prove Christian books correct. That's called circular reasoning, okay? There's still no evidence, ma'am. This is no proof just
it
because
is
it says in
evidence,
a
it's
book.
not proof. Evidence and proof are different from each other. Did you know that?
I'm not here to argue the semantics of evidence and proof. I'm here to argue why
But
you
proof is
believe.
different from evidence.
Are you going to argue whether proof is evidence or
Because
evidence
you
is
have
proof or is God
no
is real?
evidence. Okay, so what evidence do you have that God is imaginary?
You're the one who's claiming he exists. I don't need to. If I say you owe me £1 million, you're going to be
Okay,
like,
but
okay,
if
where's
you
the evidence?
can't give evidence on why
Listen,
God is imaginary, then you
listen.
cannot propose that.
I'm giving you a hypothetical to make this more easy for you. If I tell you you owe me £1 million and you're like, where's your proof? And I'm like, you just do. Do you understand the issue? So if you're claiming that this God did all of this
And
and
you're
did
doing the
all
same
of that and
thing.
did all of that, I'll ask you, where's your proof of that? Where's your evidence? And if you don't have any, I'm sorry,
And
but
evidence and proof are different.
oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You're just engaging in bad faith. Do you have evidence of God or not?
It's not a bad faith. Pardon?
Okay, do you have evidence, whatever you believe it to mean, of God or not?
Yeah, evidence of God is holy books and scriptures. Proof is not something that we have, and you don't have proof that God is imaginary either. You only have
Okay,
evidence.
so evidence that God exists in the Holy Scriptures, where's the evidence? Because it says so?
Exactly.
Okay, well, if I say a spaghetti monster made the world and write it in a book, is
Well,
that the
it's
scriptures
not
that prove it?
very.
Exactly. It doesn't
It
work
doesn't
just
really
because
line
it's
up to the
written
argument,
down in
though,
a
does
book
it?
does not automatically make it true. I think you
But this is a
understand that.
historical book that I think you might be able to understand.
And if I wrote it
It's
a
a
million
historical
years ago,
book,
that
and those
wouldn't
are
have any more
historically
validity.
correct in that book.
Ma'am, if I write a book a million years ago, that doesn't mean everything I write is correct or true. You need to provide evidence
But
that this God exists.
with evidence, some evidence shows that things written in the Christian Bible is historically correct.
Okay.
So
If it wrote in the Bible that water exists, that's fine. But I'm not disputing that. But if it writes that God exists, there is no evidence. We have evidence of water. We can feel it. We can, we have physical evidence. But I haven't yet to see evidence of God. So I'm still waiting, ma'am.
the Bible is evidence. I've just told you.
You can't use the Bible as evidence. I'm sorry, that's not how evidence works. You can't do that.
How not? Why not? Why not? Why not?
That's circular reasoning. If I say that, I could.
So what is
being written
circular
in the Bible
reasoning?
means it's true?
Because the Bible has been proved to have some
By
historical
who? By
information that's
who?
true.
Where are you getting this proof from? There's no proof. It's just
Well, if
written.
you did the
Okay?
research, maybe.
Okay, you're just not engaging in good faith. You've not shown any evidence whatsoever.
Well, you
There's
haven't
no
given me
proof.
every
You're
evidence
just
that
saying
God
it's
is
true because
imaginary
it's
either.
true. That's called circular reasoning, ma'am.
It's not true.
I just can't debate with someone who's not going to be good faith. I can't just make a claim that a spaghetti monster made the world and it's true because it's true. They restricted me again. Ugh, why do they do this? Every view is dropped like crazy because, it's so annoying. Thank you for the rose. Hey, what you got?
Yo, hello, bro. Hello.
Hello.
That last person saying, God, you know how they say, right? You're saying God's fake, right?
I'm saying he's imaginary.
Okay, right, fair enough. That's what I think as well. Okay, but people say, oh yeah, prove to me he don't exist, but that's not how it works. You don't go to court and say prove to me you didn't do this. You find out who does do things.
Thank you
find
very
out
much,
he is
sir.
real. I don't go up to you and go prove I don't have purple paint on my shoes. I can't prove that I don't have purple paint on my shoes because there ain't purple paint on my shoes. Do you know what I mean?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Simply a nice, clear explanation. I don't need to prove he doesn't. If you're making the claim, you need to prove he does. Okay? You're making a claim about the state of the universe. That is where it starts. My vegan daughter is just blood tested being malnourished and will now need monthly GP. Well, then there's clearly some other issues, and I don't think eating meat will fix that. Okay? That's not gonna help up. I don't need to mod up. I'm fine. It's genuinely sad. It's just sad at this point. You guys think you have a point, but you have no point. I don't know what else to say. Oh, 1 second.